salt of the earth. And you guys, she's really working at her store and she really curates everything and really puts so much time and effort. So anything we can do to help those women, I'm here for it. I mean, they knew
over
us.
the years and months, we are the closest with Sutton out of the Beverly Hills Housewives that are currently on. Like Sutton, she's wonderful.
David,
Yeah.
Sutton, and everybody needs to know this because people, you say this, and then I think people think
People
you're
think I have an
full
ego.
of
Yeah.
yourself. But Sutton came over to you, comes over to him, you guys, and says, "When are you selling?" And she has that wonderful Southern accent. And she said to me, "Oh my God, I think you're my little sister. You're like my little sister." And I said, "I know, from the north." And she looked at me. She's like, because
She's
she's
great.
from Georgia. I'm from Maine. But she said, "When are you selling Behind the Velvet Rope for $100 million?" Honey, she knew your podcast. She knew how big it was. She thinks you're doing a deal like Travis Kelce. And when you do, I better get a fucking residual because I've been goddamn podcasting this, co-hosting this thing 2 days a week for like going on 3 years, I think, this coming March.
I told her, I said, go ahead with all your contacts. Go ahead and sell this. You'll get 30%. And she was like, oh, really? I was like, yes. And I don't even need 100 million, you know? I mean, you have me selling this for 5 to 10 million, according to you.
I think you could get 5 to 10 million. I really do.
Well, that is a big range. Some of the numbers in that range possibly don't work. Some do. Maybe.
Well, shout out to Patrick and Paul who were there, who have popular podcasts. It was an awesome, awesome night. I'm
No,
trying to think,
listen,
anybody who else. It could not have been more magical. It was so much fun.
I have nothing bad to say about, no, I mean, I've said always, we have been invited to Sutton's before. She is wonderful. I find Sutton, listen, I mean, you have a real conversation. I think it's because Sutton and Kathy have nothing to prove. They don't have to prove where they are in the hierarchy of housewives. They're not like, MJo, who also is known as the Saj. They're not, I don't know, Sonia Morgan trying to reclaim her fame at this point, wandering the streets of the Hamptons. They're not Jizzy Jizz, who's trying, like, they are like, just Sutton's like, this is my life. Like, they're not obsessed with like where they are in the housewives hierarchy. I mean, they're pretty damn high up, if you ask me. That's why I enjoy them. They're not thirsty and they are genuine. Yeah, that's really, that's really all there is to say about that. And they were the two genuine housewives that were there for the evening.
And can we shout out former Fashion Police host George Katsiopolis? Amazing.
See, I thought
so much style in real life. Ugh.
And we were talking to him and his friend. I mean, George, I don't mind a little George. And it's so funny.
George get together. Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting together with George. The next day, I texted Miss Rivers and I said, let me gossip. I said, thought about you last night. I said, I ran into George. No word back. Melissa doesn't always, it's weird. She gossips when we get on the phone together, but she's not really a texter. So,
well, no shit. She's smart. Don't put anything in.
She's smart.
Yeah,
exactly. I didn't say anything bad. I just said blast from the past. I ran into George.
Well, and not that maybe she'd have great things to say.
No, I think she would say, I think it was all good with George and Joan and Melissa and Kelly. I think the four of them got along very well. Not so sure about Juliana, but there you go. But I think they would all say great things about each other. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, George was so kind in talking about Joan, and he just said, he's like, people don't understand. Joan was a lady.
Best.
He was
like,
lady. He's like, she was a lady in a way that I don't know that people are anymore. He just said she came out and she would be crass or whatever. But when she walked in a room, he just said she was such a freaking lady, like so much style, so much grace, such a class act. I mean, to me, I feel like that is what Kathy and Sutton are. There is something about those women and it's not just the money. I think it's just the confidence, I guess. They really are. They are ladies. It's really amazing. It's really.
I mean, we should
really
also mention, speaking of money, no shade, because it's not obvious, but Miss Hilton does travel and it's not obvious. That's what's great about it. But when you start to really figure out what's going on, Kathy had like five staff members at this party. Just a party, guys. Just a party. Literally,
Oh my God, I
this
love her.
this one gets her the drink. This one gets her the caviar. This one,
On all
and
their
it's not, but it's not obnoxious. It's not. It's very subtle under, and then you just, if you're paying attention, like David and Sarah are, you're like, oh my God, there's like literally five people on Kathy's payroll that are
This is
actually
why I
at
said
this event.
Kathy is my dream. Kathy is who I aspire to be. Can you imagine that you just have a team?
No,
Do you have so much money? You have a team. I just would love a team. And she's so, to your point, it's not of not like
they're all
that's
hanging out. It's not like you
ladies.
work for me, stand behind me.
It's
No, everyone's
so
hanging out. Yeah.
it's so classy. It's not in your face. It's not, do you know who I am? I mean, I guess because everybody knows who Kathy is. I don't know. It's a very subtle kind. And Kathy is one of those magnetic people that makes you feel like she's very, she makes eye contact with you. She's engaged.
You
She
have
makes
a real
you feel
conversation.
right,
Yeah.
right. And Sutton is the same way. I mean, Sutton, we walk in and it's like we're old friends. I mean, I can't say enough good about them. Everyone's going to come for me. Oh, you're biased. And I am biased. I love both women. I think they're terrific. It was such a magical night. Please end up with George. George
I
could
would
not
be into
have
the
been
George.
more. I mean,
But I did have several drinks and you did see me getting into
oh,
Michael. You saw
I,
me.
it's the first time I have seen David Yontef like with a guy in a romantic. I was like,
Well, and
oh
you
my God,
listen,
excuse.
listen, honey, after a few drinks and you look around and you're like, okay, well, like, I mean, here you are. Why not? You know what I'm saying?
It was, and Doug was there from Jeff Lewis. It was great.
It
It
was
was
a fun
great.
night.
It was a fun night. They were all terrific. It really was. I can't say enough good. It was a magical night. Guys,
Well,
follow your dreams.
listen,
That's all I
you
can say. Follow your dreams.
follow
My
your
dream.
dreams and you stay on in contact with Sutton there so we can have another invite to the next
Yes.
thing because I feel like that's very likely to happen. This is a
Anything we can
fun
do
night
for
out
fun.
in West Hollywood, babe.
Mm.
Where else do you want to go with this day? There's a lot.
There's a lot. Wait, what do you make of, since you are the Jersey expert, my dear, what do you make of this Rachel Fuda posting a picture and saying she's unemployed? She was kind of out with her kids and she just was like acting,
And she said, I'm
unbothered,
unemployed.
unbothered, having a ball with my kids, unemployed. Do you think that's just like temporarily unemployed or she's
Well,
not coming
no,
back?
I think, listen, I think if anyone's coming back and there's going to be a list, I think Rachel Fuda is going to be on the list.